To close my last video, I said you're not a bad person for asking whether the information we're being presented is in pursuit of the truth or if it's in pursuit of something else. Sometimes that's a difficult distinction to draw, and other times they're not hiding a damn thing. CBS had been very clear about where exactly they stand on the scale from objective fact finder to coronapocalypse fear merchant when they spliced in Sky News footage of an Italian hospital and presented it in a CBS This Morning piece as though it's in New York. CBS blamed a, quote, editing mistake, but it's hard to see how that substitution gets made in error. The source is a European broadcast. The footage shows signs in Italian. It's much easier to see how that error gets made with a purpose. Thus, it isn't an error at all. It's a deliberate product of the intent to make you afraid. Now, errors, of course, do happen, and when they do, they get corrected, when the aim is the good faith pursuit of the truth. But in this case, CBS just deleted the online posts they had made of the video, and to my knowledge, based on all the reporting I see, they never issued an on-air correction to clarify for the people who watched this on TV. They never issued an apology for misleading either. And just in case you had any lingering sympathies for CBS, just in case you still think it must have been some idiot intern getting careless with his editing responsibilities, well, now that intern says, hey, hold my corona, bro, I can do even better. In a tweet that is still up as I record this video, on Sunday morning, CBS News' main blue check account posted a video they characterized as a nurse in tears who says she quit her job at Northwestern Medicine in Chicago because she was asked to work in a coronavirus intensive care unit without a face mask. According to CBS, she had to make this difficult decision in order to protect herself and family members with pre-existing medical conditions.
I quit my job today. I went into work and I was assigned to a COVID patient on an ICU unit that has been converted to a designated COVID unit. None of the nurses are wearing masks, not even surgical masks in the hallways. I had my own N95 mask. I told my manager, I understand we're short on supplies, but let me protect myself. Let me feel safe. I have family that I have to come home to, and the way things are looking, this isn't gonna get any better. America is not prepared, and nurses are not being protected.
Well, even taken at face value, I'm not even sure what reaction they're looking for here. Okay, lady, you didn't accept the terms of your job, so you left that job voluntarily. And granted, I'm not a healthcare worker, but I do question just how valuable this sort of hysteria would be in an urgent care setting anyway. I'm guessing that line of work requires some skin that's just a little thicker than this. You're gonna see some truly awful things. But of course, that face value is irrelevant anyway. Face value is zero in this case. Credit to the people who asked about the part where her boss is a Nigerian who slapped her across the face with an undercooked bat and said, this is Corona country. 2 months from now, we will find out this is Jussie Smollett 2.0, said those in before proven hoax. The only thing off about that prediction is it took under 2 days, actually, not 2 months. While CBS was putting their multi-million-dollar production resources into adding music and captions to this video, the free labor of those quarantined on the internet got to work actually investigating the legitimacy of these claims. The woman in the video is Imaris or Imaris or I'm a Liar Vera. She's active on social media. She has a decent following on her now privated Instagram account, nurse.iv. That's the source of the original video. She makes some sort of combo nurse and lifestyle posts. Characterizing her as an ICU nurse is a bit of a stretch. According to a Facebook post of hers, she hadn't been working in the ICU for over a year. It's unclear if she means she hasn't been working as a nurse at all for a year or just hasn't been working in the ICU, but regardless, she hasn't been in the role from which she quit, citing mental health issues as a primary factor. And digging into her Twitter account, people discovered that her public quitting stunt was literally her first day back on the job. She posted on March 26th that she was terrified of returning to the ICU in 4 days. And 4 days later, on the 30th, she posted this video. Okay, so now the story has changed from ICU nurse leaves job over fear for her own safety to Lady quits amid first day on the job, and we found that out with just a flick's worth of scrutiny, so surely there's more. Well, Bernie Sanders also shared her video uncritically, saying it is insane that our nurses are being forced to care for the sick without masks and respirators. The Department of Labor must immediately issue emergency workplace standards to protect our health workers, their families, and their patients. Weird how the hospital apparently forced her at gunpoint to leave voluntarily, and besides, isn't forcing workers to provide their labor the centerpiece of Bernie's healthcare plan? I have a lot of questions, but I digress. The point is, Bernie sharing this video at face value apparently got to the conscience of this nurse, who tweeted out some pretty important additional information in response. Hey, thanks for sharing the video, Bernie, but actually, just to be clear, we ICU nurses were each assigned one mask per COVID patient's room. It's just we weren't supposed to wear the masks outside the room. I wanted to wear my own mask outside around the nurse's station or halls. And the boss said, nah. Okay, well, that's less of an issue of outright shortage then. That's more of an issue of you just disagreeing with the health and safety protocols of the hospital, and that's fine. But it's not just simply a symptom of America being unprepared, as you bawled about into the camera. So now the story of the ICU nurse who quit in fear of her own health is actually the story of some discount Instagram model who disagreed with resource management rules. In other words, she's not really much of a nurse, and her claim of mask unavailability is inaccurate, which means, yet again, it's accountability time for CBS News. And like I said, mistakes happen. Nobody expects a flawless record, particularly on a complicated issue with constantly changing information. We just expect acknowledgement of those mistakes and a commitment to minimize them. So what do you got? Apology? Retraction? Nope. None of that, of course not. Just a couple of follow-up tweets Monday afternoon saying the nurse clarified her experience with that prior tweet that we saw. She clarified that yes, there were actually masks. She just disagrees with their required use protocols. And the hospital acknowledged that she did in fact quit a job there and referred CBS to the nurse for the details on why. That is confirmation that she wasn't punished. She wasn't forced. She just disagreed and freaked out and left. It is not a clarification. If it totally contradicts the original presentation, it means the original presentation was false, and at no point does CBS acknowledge any role in irresponsibly spreading that falsehood. Yes, the nurse lied, and that's wrong, but you're the ones who amplified the lie uncritically to the 7 million people who follow for blue check verified news. You're the ones leaving the lie up even with the knowledge of what actually happened, relegating the truth to some footnotes that get a fraction of the traffic of the original claim. It is not the nurse's responsibility to clarify, and she's a proven liar anyway, so who cares if she does? It is your responsibility to clarify the material that you post, especially after you've edited it for dramatic effect. Clarification of the facts is the only purpose of your business, or at least it is in theory. Is it the truth thereafter? Or is it something else? CBS already answered that question last week. And just in case you didn't hear them all the way in the back, they are shouting their answer again this week. And I just hope that next week we're all watching viral videos of CBS staff quitting in hysterical tears, forced to choose between their jobs or factual accuracy. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to coming out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Goodbye.